Continuation from the last video about this fentanyl crisis that we're having here in America. And it's not just in one spot in America, people. This crisis is all over America. How they say it's in rural America, it's in urban America, it's in professional America, it's in every aspect of our life. Because say for instance, maybe you hanging out with a football player, you say, hey, I got a headache. And somebody in the crowd say, hey, I got something for you. This will take care of that. And you take it unknowingly because we're basically type of trusting people. And then they give it to you, you take it, you start feeling weird, and the next thing you know, you're not here no more. And now if you're a parent, if you're a boss, you're a business owner, a lot of that goes down the drain. What about having a wife? Or what about having a girlfriend? What about having a husband? If you're into these things, all the people around you will have to suffer. But I just want to know why they want the people to perish. Why do you want the people to perish from something like this? The other drugs that we have in our country, yes, they're so harmful. Yes, they kill people because over time, if you keep taking them, it messes up your organs. Hey, it even messes up your life. Hey, it messes up relationships. All those drugs exactly is doing exactly what I said. They're destructive too. But there's never been a drug in America that if you just touch it, that it can kill you. Have we ever had that in America? And are we going to keep putting up with it as Americans? We should make sure that this stuff doesn't see the street. And people who mess with it and sell it, and if they get caught, should never see the street. I don't care if it's somebody that's kin to me. I don't care if it's somebody kin to you. You shouldn't want somebody around that is willing to sacrifice lives like that to be around. Why would I want somebody around who's trying to mess up my society? These drug dealers and stuff and all these gangsters, the gang bangers, they're already have permeated our society and have changed it from what it was years ago. Yes, I am old school. No, I don't think young school. Yes, I do understand new school, and I understand all that. They consider me old, but I'm here to try to save their life. If you are a youngster, you're in college, you're in high school, hey, even if you're in middle school, even if you're in elementary school and you just happen to come across this video, don't take no candy from nobody. Don't take no pills from nobody. Don't drink after other people, because I'm hearing they got liquid stuff going on. Right? So now we can't even trust nobody to say, here, take a sip of this. If you're thirsty or you got to, say if you're on doctor medication and you have to take your stuff at a certain time, you don't got no water, your friend there, you got a cup and they can give you a little bit of something in your cup. I hear that they wiping it on cups. Right? So people is capitalism going to be the downfall of our society? Is it going to be as where we're not caring about anybody else's life but our own? Well, we can't be doing that, people. And I'm here. That's why I want to try to become the president of the United States of America, because we got to handle this. And we got to handle this right down in the hood. See, and I think the way to handle it right down in the hood is making sure that these people got jobs, they got decent houses, because that's what causes people to get out in the street. For some neighborhoods, they just in there for the money. They've been eating the whole time. They just don't care about people. And so they are out there doing it. But the majority of the people that are selling these bad products are coming from the hood with nothing. They coming from the hood with nothing. So I can't expect them not to try to get in the streets or something like that. And they ruining their life. We know they ruining their life. But now they're just not ruining their life. They're ruining our lives. They're ruining our children's lives. Fentanyl is one of the worst things that you could come across. But now I'm hearing that it's something else out there besides fentanyl. And that it's going to be a hot topic, you know. And I was like, wow, are we, this is what we're doing in America, that capitalism, that people are so hungry that they're willing to unalive or kill people for this, you know, and drugs do that anyway, you know, because as we can see with the crack crisis, you know, that was put down in urban neighborhoods or run-down neighborhoods that caused all these killings and all these guns to be on the street and all these mothers neglecting their kids and neglecting the kids' education. You know, so we've been devastated, and it ain't just black neighborhoods. It's white neighborhoods. It's Mexican neighborhoods. It's every neighborhood out there. I live in Arizona, so we're going to say just in Arizona, I've met people that said that they have been messing around with meth and stuff since they was 4 and 5 years old, given to them by their own relatives. And I was like, wow, I was like truly amazed, because none of my relatives would let me dream about doing that. Period. Would cuss me out and not hang around me, because they know I'd be doing something stupid that I shouldn't be doing. So America, we need to stand up, and we need to stand up now. We need to stand up loudly, get our politicians to do their friggin' job. Because, hey, if we don't stand up, how they say, if you don't stand up for something, hey, you're going to lose everything. You know, I'm seeing why people, you know, not trying to work and all this kind of stuff. Because they're figuring, hey, it's all these easy ways to make money. I don't got to work a 9 to 5. I can make some money out here slinging this or slinging that. And this stuff is ridiculous, people. We got to do better. We got to, how they say, I've heard it say that we got to be the change, hey, that we're looking for. We got to, see, they need to do the grass over here. But they'll do it probably right after the holiday or something. But I'll talk to Joe and see what he got going on. Tell him to hook this up. And if he need me to hook it up, I'll hook it up. But yeah, let's get back to what we were talking about. That these people out here that make it, these capitalists, it's too capitalistic. Because these people are paying people off to be able to transport this stuff. And of course, we know that the government is watching them. They're trying to get as much of it off the street as they possibly can. Now, I don't all the time agree with Trump, but on this, I agree with him. I need everybody to clamp down on this, because it could be your grandmother, it could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be your daughter, it could be your son, it could be your teacher, it could be your lawyer, it could be anybody that this stuff affects. And are we going to keep just acting like, oh, those people, they took it on their own, which they did. They are the one who reached their hand out, right? But it's the people who are willing to give these people this stuff. And to me, That ain't a good look. That's not a good look for America. If everybody turns their head, oh, well, it's not me. It hasn't hit my family. And so that, I'm not really concerned about that. No, boo. Because it could hit your family at any time. Because you could make a mistake and touch a surface that has it on it. You don't know if you go into a bathroom, if somebody's had their hand on the knobs of a toilet or a faucet or a doorknob. If you touch it, you're gone. So that means this can affect anybody. This is not something that's just urban. This is urban, suburban. This is if you're living in the mountains. This is if you're living underground. This is if you're in the military. This is if you're a judge, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer. I don't care who you are. This concerns you because you could be going from just touching a little bit of this stuff. You don't even have to have a lot. You could touch it and then touch somebody else, not knowing that you're passing this on to them and you both gone. You're both gone. You're shaking somebody's hand or you're giving dap. We call it giving five, right? Come on, people. Aren't we better than this in America? That we're going to overlook people just dropping dead? Thousands of people a day just dropping dead from a drug so powerful that these other nations are sending this stuff to our country. They need to be held accountable. The people that they're bringing it to in America need to be held accountable. Even the people who are taking them, they need to be educated even more. It should be a commercial on every 5 seconds. It used to be a commercial on every 5 seconds that says just say no. And we know what they was doing when they just said no. They was actually doing what they were saying no to. But we're not talking about them right now. We're talking about right now in 2025 and getting ready to go into 2026, people. And this affects any and everybody. This isn't something that we could sleep on. This isn't something that we could pass off to the next generation. This is not something that we could just pass off to the police. This isn't something we could pass off to our next door neighbor. We have to take accountability ourselves and tell our politicians, if you don't get this stuff off of these streets, then you ain't getting voted in, and nobody else you know ain't gonna get voted in. You feel me? We need to make them accountable because we're paying taxes for their checks and the insurance that they get for a lifetime. So why they can't do our bidding? Make them do your bidding. Don't tell them, yeah, because you know they're gonna spin you. Well, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll have some meetings. No, they need to have very, very much public forum meetings about this crisis. Because this isn't just in a small community or anything like that. This has went all the way across the United States of America. This isn't just in Boston, and this just isn't in California. This just isn't in Michigan. This just isn't in Alabama. This is all over. It's in Washington, D.C. So it's everywhere. So people, please get up, get on your phone, start talking about this crisis to other people. Girl, did you hear this? Dude, did you hear that? About this fentanyl. This fentanyl is crazy work. And we need to get this stuff off these streets. Anybody that's selling it, don't allow them to be a part of the public. Because if you're into that thing, you're trying to be a murderer. That's what you're trying to do. You're not just trying to make money. You are consciously knowing that you're putting the substance into another drug or to that is killing people in this here United States of America. And I'm sure that I'm not the only person that is sick of it. Later, YouTube.